The sights on it are just factory, which is pretty lame. The magazine release button here is a lot chunkier than on my last Glock, and I really like that.
The slide release is ambidextrous on both sides. The safety is ambidextrous on both sides.
The Nintendo Zapper Ruger LCP, my Wolverine LCP2.
This is a variant of the gun that John Wick used in John Wick 1. He used a P30L, so it's a little bit longer.
But you can see the 38 Special along the top, and it looks like it did almost as much damage as the 38 Special, even though the bullet's only about half the size.
Shoot her! Yes! For science.
Oh! Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick product review of the 511 Select Carry pistol pouch. I got this used off of eBay for about $17. Brand new, they go from $35 to $45. But this one was in really good shape, and I wasn't quite sure if I actually was going to enjoy this thing or not yet. I'm still not, to be honest with you. But just wanted to give you guys a quick review so that you know what you're going to get if you decide to order one. It's got only 3 pouches in it, and it's very thin. As you can see, it's not a thick fanny pack at all. And these 2 side pouches, you really can't carry much of anything in. They're very small. You could probably carry some credit cards, ID, maybe car keys, something of that nature, but nothing bigger than that. It will not hold a wallet or anything like that. This one over here, I decided to put some handcuffs in, just for the heck of it, with a handcuff key in there. But even with the handcuffs, it's a pretty tight squeeze, so just be aware of that. Now, the main compartment here, this thing is really designed for a subcompact pistol, although it will hold full-size pistols as well. So we've got a couple of different pistols that we're going to be showing here, just so that you guys can see what the fit's going to be like. So as you can see, the main compartment here looks pretty small, but you can go all the way into the back on either side, making this essentially ambidextrous for gun owners. So we're going to start with the big ones and go to the small ones. So here's my Beretta 92 FS. Anybody familiar with pistols knows that this gun is huge and fairly heavy. So we're going to start with that one. Gun's empty. So you basically, it's got these little elastic straps here, but these are for smaller pistols. This one will not go through that strap, so don't even bother trying. You just slide it in like that, and it pretty much just makes a home for itself right here in the main compartment of the pouch. And you zip it up and you're ready to go. Now, if you're wondering about these tabs, it has Velcro that goes along the outside here, like so. And it does have 2 of these tabs. So you can yank down on them from either side. As you can see, it'll do the same thing for the other direction. So to make use of the tab, I'll show you this a little bit more once I start trying the pouch on here. So this is the way you're going to be carrying it. And then in a rough situation, just yank the tab, and the flap comes open, and you can grab your gun. So the draw on this is actually pretty fast. Almost as fast as like a inside the waistband holster or even an outside the waistband holster, frankly. So yeah, pretty nice. So anyway, there's the Beretta. This is my Glock 17, also a full-size gun, but a little bit smaller. Now it does have some elastic here too, if you want to put like spare magazines or a pocket knife or something like that in there. But here's something you should probably know before you do that. When the gun goes in here, like so, if you have a magazine here or here, and you close it, you're going to scratch the gun. Some people don't care about that. I like my guns looking pretty nice. And this thing holds 17 rounds, the Beretta holds 20. So I'm not really worried about, you know, not having enough ammunition, so I would rather leave these clear and not worry about scratching it. I also don't like the bulk, which is why I selected this one, because this is like one of the smallest fanny packs that's on the market for concealed carry. Now, here is my itty-bitty little Wolverine LCP2. Pretty awesome gun. I have a review of this on my channel if you want more details on it. Gun's empty. This one holds 7 and 1 because I've got the extended magazine on it. Now, this is one of the tiniest guns you can get. So as you can see, this one will go very easily into the elastic there without too much trouble. And the gun will just stay in there like that. Now, if you wanted to, if you're worried about scratching your gun like I mentioned earlier, you can keep it out of this pouch and put it back here like this. And then you can put one magazine here, close it, and you wouldn't have to worry about getting the gun scratched. However, since this thing is smaller than the other two guns that I just showed you, it's probably going to wiggle around a little bit while you're walking around with this pack. So you would be running the chance of when you rip this thing open, the gun might just fall right out of there. So just something to keep in mind if you're carrying a smaller pistol. On my channel I have 2 different reviews of pouch holsters for guns of this size. I would recommend going with that if you're going to carry a small gun. The fanny pack is more for larger weapons that you have trouble concealing elsewhere. So there are other options available for this that I feel are better than this thing. I got this primarily for the Beretta because this Beretta is gigantic and you're kind of limited in the ways that you can carry it around. So we're going to be using that primarily for the example here. It's empty. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. Zip it up. And then we're going to put the pack on. Now it's got a really nice heavy-duty buckling system here. And these straps here are way too long. These would probably fit somebody with like a 60-inch waist. So I will be cutting those, but for the sake of this video, I didn't want to cut them until I shot the video, just so that you guys know, how much fabric you're going to be getting here if you decide to purchase one of these things. Also new, there's a 511 tag that goes right here. That's been cut off by the previous owner, which is fine by me because you're almost advertising that you have a gun in there at that point. You can also like paste something on here, like I did with my Sneaky Pete Wolverine, just for the heck of it, to make it a little less suspicious looking. But that's going to be completely up to you. So let's go ahead and try this on. One thing you're going to notice right away is because of the size of this pistol, this section is not going to be able to bend because the pistol goes all the way to the end here. So only this part will bend. So to make it look a little less suspicious, you could carry it a little off kilter to the side here, or even around your back. But I really wouldn't recommend that, as that's going to really hamper your draw. This thing is really meant to be carried like on the side here for smaller pistols, or maybe over here, somewhere around the front here, so that you can get at the gun in a hurry. For the bigger pistols, like I said, this is probably your best option, and then obviously reversed if you're left-handed. So we're going to show the tab here. Just rips open like that, and you got your gun. So, that happens really, really quick. Now, while I was practicing with this, before I shot this video, I noticed particularly with the Beretta that the gun is so big that when you go to yank the tab, the zipper here was getting stuck on these sights. So if you're using this for a Beretta, that's definitely something to keep in mind, because almost half the time when I was yanking that tab, it got stuck and then I wasn't able to get at the gun. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're planning on carrying a Beretta. My guess is probably something like the 1911, something with those high profile sights, would probably do the exact same thing. So just something to bear in mind. Now with the Glock has decent sights, but they're not nearly as high as the Beretta. It's also a slightly smaller gun. So when you stick it in there, you can actually carry it at an angle like this, so that the sights are actually away from the zipper. And then when you zip it up, there's no way that that zipper is going to hit the sights because of the angle that the gun is in there. And then of course it does it. But yeah, as I was practicing with this earlier, it seemed like the Glock was a much better fit for this particular pouch than the Beretta was. But again, it probably just takes some getting used to. I just got this thing today and I haven't actually worn it around any yet. But yeah, I mean, that's the primary purpose of this thing, is to conceal a larger gun. If you have a smaller gun, I would go with a Sneaky Pete or something similar, just because I think that that's more, it's lighter, it's less bulky. This thing, you know, even though it's small for a fanny pack, is still a little cumbersome. But if you're just wearing t-shirt and shorts or something, or you know, something like that, and you want to carry a big gun, this is a pretty good option. Now, one more thing I want to mention about this pouch. Is for people that are worried about off-the-body carry. I mean, somebody could just come behind you with a pocket knife, cut one of these, grab the pack, and off they go with your gun. I don't think that's particularly likely, but some people, that's a concern. This pouch has you covered even in that scenario, because if you look at this section in the back here, it has a loop in here that you can actually run the front part of your belt through. So even if somebody cuts this strap here, it's still going to be attached to your body if you run your belt through this section here. So there's no way somebody can get it off of you. So for those of you worried about that, that's a nice little extra safety feature that this thing has. But anyway, that's my review of the 511 Select Carry Pistol Pouch, because they didn't want to say fanny pack, because I guess that would hurt their sales. But anyway, I think it's great. Is it worth 35 bucks? I'm not sure. But like I said, I only paid $17 for this one, and I think it's a great deal. So I'll be wearing it out periodically, primarily using the Beretta, and just see how I like it. But for those of you out there that have like a subcompact pistol that's anything smaller than a Glock 17, this thing would really, really be outstanding. So anyway, that's my review. Hope you guys found it informative, and I'll catch you next time.